To be so much fun.
When the devil finds his first love, evil shall be released.
Eve is amazing, she's beautiful.
And she knows you and accepts you.
So she should know that I'm not a serious relationship kind of devil.
And yet you were willing to try with Chloe.
Well, we saw how that turned out, didn't we? Party's over. Detective!
I mean, I guess what it really comes down to, do you want him in your life or not?
How is it that sometimes you don't get hurt and then other times you do?
I don't fully understand why. I'm only vulnerable when I'm close to you. It's only a matter of time before the demons come back to Earth. I have to go back. My first love was never Eve. It was you, Chloe.
I love you.
Don't go.
Goodbye. She'll be just fine without me.
I'm not good. I've been throwing myself into work and going out with you.
At least you guys got to say goodbye. As far as I'm concerned, Lucifer can, well, he can go to hell.
We don't need him.
Hello, bad guys.
You're here.
Yes, I got a bit bored, so I thought I'd pop back up.
Lucifer's acting different.
Down there, time is different. I was in hell for thousands of years. A few things might have changed. Lucifer 2.0.
You're back. Great.
How could you go home without me?
I'm not Lucifer!
Lucifer told me he had a twin brother.
Nice to meet you. I'm Michael. I am not gonna break Lucifer's life. I'm gonna take it.
He is stronger than you think.
What do you truly desire?
Welcome home. How do you like the mess I made?
For now, I'm gonna stick to police work and avoid anything God-related. Hilarious.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Lucifer Season 5 trailer video. They've also been talking about what's going on with Season 6 episodes, so I'll be sure to explain all that stuff. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. The season is coming the same weekend that the DC Fandome Comic-Con event is happening in a couple weeks, too. So there'll be a lot of big DC movie and TV show trailers coming in the next couple of weeks. The big thing with this trailer is obviously just the big reveal that Michael, his twin brother, is going to be the main villain of Season 6. The way that they're doing the season is a little bit different too. They're actually breaking it in half, but there are 16 episodes instead of 10, so it's like a supersized season. They're only releasing the first half of the season in a couple weeks, the first 8 episodes, and then the second half I'm assuming is either going to release at the end of this year or sometime early next year. They didn't say whether or not Season 6 would also be supersized or if it'd be like the normal 10 episodes like Season 4 was. The way the showrunner talks about Michael, though, he just talks about Tom Ellis going crazy, playing different versions of himself, so they said they didn't want to shy away from that, so that's why the big Michael twist reveal is in this trailer. But you have Michael showing up at the beginning of the season because Lucifer is still trapped being the king of hell, trying to take everything that Lucifer has. He's probably been watching him this whole time, like all the other archangels and the people in heaven have been watching Lucifer, being really pissed off about what he's been doing on planet Earth. We've seen angels in the past get really upset about the freedom that he enjoys. Even though he's a fallen angel and was banished down to hell, most of the angels still have a lot of petty rivalries between them, like families, siblings fight. Which of the children does the parent favor the most? And it's just implied through the course of the series that God always favored Lucifer the most, which is why his betrayal stung so hard. It also helps explain some of the big twists with Chloe's character and the way her powers work and the way he set that up for Lucifer. But as the trailer implies, not too much time goes by before Team Lucifer finds out that it's really not Lucifer, it's actually Michael pretending to be him. It seems like Constantine is the one that figures it out first. Like, wait a minute, Lucifer said he had a twin brother. If you're having trouble telling them apart, there are a couple of key differences in the way they look and the way that they talk. So the main differences between Lucifer and Michael are that Lucifer has a British accent and white wings like Lucifer Lightbringer, and Michael has an American accent, which does sound kind of weird coming out of Tom Ellis after listening to him with that British accent for all these seasons. And he also has black wings, so you see black wings a couple times during the trailers. That's just the key to let you know that that's Michael doing all those things in those scenes. But it seems like when he shows up at the beginning of the trailer in the first couple of episodes, like they're implying, Michael is posing as Lucifer, imitating his British accent, but the way they're playing it is that it's Tom Ellis imitating himself as Lucifer. You have to remember that this is Tom Ellis playing both of these characters. So he's the dude playing a dude, pretending to be another dude. Post all your Tropic Thunder Robert Downey Jr. memes. The way they're talking about season 6 though is that it is supposed to be their final season, but what happened was that when they were planning all the season 5 episodes, originally they thought that season 5 episode 16 was going to be the series finale, so they worked in all these supersized endings for all the different characters, subplots, and storylines into that final episode. Like think about Lord of the Rings Return of the King with the many different endings that movie had. They had a version of that going on in the season 5 finale. So when they got renewed for season 6, they just took a lot of the stuff from the original season 5 finale and turned that into the beginning of their season 6 storyline. But they didn't really give anything away about what happens in the season 5 finale, obviously. But if you've been following the series for a long time, Lucifer and Chloe's character arcs, you can kind of guess where they're headed with their season 6 storyline. His whole big internal conflict in previous seasons was all about his identity through the way his powers, his wings, his devil face worked. Like that was a big thing during season 4. My devil face is back. So at the end of season 4, he's telling Chloe that he has to go back to hell because he's no longer running away from his responsibilities. He's a little more confident in his identity, but he feels like he can't be on Earth with her anymore because he's supposed to be the king of hell. And if he's not there to do his ordained job, there's always going to be some demon or some villain to escape and cause some world-ending problem. So it's like it's a job that only he can do, so he's going back. It's a little bit like Thor in the MCU and the Avengers movies. Thor spends most of his movies wanting to be king, thinking that he wants to be king, but then running away from his responsibilities every chance he gets. But if you're thinking about a happy ending for these characters, or a version of a happy ending, I think part of the idea with the final 2 seasons will be him finding the proper balance between his life in hell and his role in the grander cosmic sense, and still being able to have a relationship with Chloe. You can theory craft all you want about her becoming the next queen of hell with him at the end of season 6. But I know there are a lot of questions about how Chloe's powers work because Michael is showing up. People are wondering if her powers will also work on Michael, if he's Lucifer's twin. The whole thing is that when she's in close proximity to him, he becomes mortal again, and the show has just suggested that it's because God wanted to do Lucifer a solid. He had Amenadiel bless a baby. That baby wound up being Chloe, so she had this very cosmically miraculous birth. And her passive ability makes immortal beings like Lucifer mortal again because she's been blessed by God when they're near her. So the theory is that the Lucifer could potentially have a version of a happy ending with her, a family with her, like his endgame would be living a normal life. But the thing is that her ability doesn't work on all immortal beings. But the big wrinkle now is Michael being his twin. There was a recent exchange on Twitter with the showrunner and one of the EW writers, and some of the tweets made people think that Chloe's ability to weaken Lucifer would also work on Michael too. And that might somehow be part of the key to defeating Michael this season, but that's just speculation right now. We don't know if her abilities work on Michael, and none of the trailer footage really gives any of that away. There are a couple big Easter eggs during the trailer you probably noticed, like this seems like a pretty obvious 2001 Space Odyssey reference. This scene seems like it's ripped right out of The Shining with the little kid riding the bike through the hallway. I know everybody saw Lucifer during Crisis on Infinite Earths, and now they're wondering if he's going to be crossing over with other future DC shows. Right now, we don't know if Constantine from the DC TV universe will be the same Constantine of the Justice League Dark HBO series that they're working on. I wouldn't hold my breath on that too much. I think that's going to be a little more connected to what's happening with the DC movies, and they're still kind of separating DC movies and DC TV shows, even though they tried to canonize all that stuff in the Crisis on Infinite Earths post-credit scene. The way they explain the Lucifer TV show inside the DC TV Arrowverse multiverse is that it's on Earth 666, and that was just meant to be a very obvious joke about the devil. So that's them just winking at that. So it is always possible if Tom Ellis does come back after season 6 to do more Lucifer stuff, he comes back into the Arrowverse TV shows. Hopefully we'll get more news about that at the DC Fandome Comic-Con in a couple weeks. There'll be a bunch of big trailers. They're doing a panel for the Batman movie with Robert Pattinson, for all the other big DC movies. Zack Snyder said they're dropping a new Justice League Snyder Cut trailer, so as long as you have alerts enabled for my channel, you should see all those videos when I post them, and of course I will do a couple videos for Lucifer Season 5. But while you wait for everything, click here for my Umbrella Academy Season 2 breakdown and Season 3 teaser, and click here for that new trailer video for The Boys Season 2, also coming in a couple weeks. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.